Well, hi there. My name is Noreen Smith. I'm a Creative Memories Advisor from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to cut and create the Leave Nothing Behind project recipe. The Leave Nothing Behind collection is a fun collection with an outdoor theme that has a lot of retro elements and is really inspired by the idea of visiting the great outdoors and the great national parks. For this project recipe, you're going to need the ingredients that are listed on the project recipe handout. 1 piece of hot fudge cardstock, 3 pieces of the Leave Nothing Behind paper. I'm actually going to use these 2 as my background pages, and 1 page that you really like both sides of for the 3rd piece. You're going to need your 12-inch trimmer, tape runner, of course, and we're going to feature the Boot Prints border punch. Now, the optional add-ons for this project recipe would include other components from the Leave Nothing Behind, including the stickers, which are great because you get the word art, the icons and decorative elements, and then also border stickers. The variety map pack cards, which are great for additional title options and also for journaling. A dual tip pen to complete your journaling, and foam squares for popping up some of those stickers or other embellishments and giving your project recipe a beautiful 3D look. So let me clear this away and let's get started. Now I'm going to be using the Canyon and the burlap paper as my base pages, so I'll just set those aside for now. And then I'm going to be cutting the cardstock and my designer paper, in this case the tent and green diamond pattern, according to the 2 cutting guides on the handout. So let's get started with cutting the hot fudge cardstock, and we're going to cut it according to cutting guide number 1. We're going to first punch with our Boot Prints border punch, and then we will go ahead and cut the strip into a 2-inch width, and then we'll repeat that process so that we have 2 of the border pieces. Now, to punch with any of the standalone border punches, you're going to want to slide the paper onto the base plate and line up one of the edges with one of these 2 marks on the front of the punch. So I'm going to go ahead and line up my edge of my paper with one of the lines on the front and hold the other side of the paper firmly against that back ledge. And we'll go ahead and punch. And then we're going to move our paper along until the punched image matches the printed image on the base plate. And when you have this matched up perfectly, you will basically see no blue. You'll just see silver. So you can see that as I'm moving it, you see some blue, and then all of a sudden it's all silver. So that's how you know that you're matched up to the right location. And we're going to go ahead and continue punching all the way along this edge of the paper. And now we'll go ahead and cut this to 2 inches using our 12-inch trimmer. You'll notice that the Boot Prints goes very, very close to the edge of the paper, and there is no paper that gets punched or cut off. So you should still have a full 12-inch piece of paper, and we're going to trim that down to 2 inches. And you'll see that one side of the border is wider than the other. So again, the boot print is going to be very close to one edge, and then you're going to have a little bit more space on the second edge. And then we'll go ahead and repeat, punching one more border just as we did before. And trimming it again down to 2 inches so that we have a pair of matched punched boot print borders. So since we've gone ahead and cut 2 by 12-inch pieces from the hot fudge cardstock, we actually have 8 inches by 12 inches left. So we're going to go ahead and cut some photo mats from that. We're going to cut the 8 by 12-inch strip into 2 4 by 12-inch strips, and then cut a total of 3 4 by 6-inch photo mats, one 4x4 photo mats, and we'll have a small 4x2 inch piece left over that will be scrap. So let's go ahead and cut at 4. Then I'm just going to stack both of those 4-inch strips and cut it at 6 inches. And then I can set my 3 4x6 photo mats aside and cut my last one down to 4x4. This piece is scrap, we'll just set that aside for now. Now let's go ahead and use cutting guide number 2 to cut our designer paper. Now for this, we're going to first cut 2 1/2-inch by 12-inch strips, and then we're going to create 2 large 4x12-inch strips. And then in our last 3 inches, we're going to cut 3 3x3-inch squares, and we'll have 1 3x3-inch square left over. Before I go ahead and cut, I always like to check the direction of the paper. And because these 2 4x12-inch strips will be going across our layout horizontally, I want to make sure that the pattern works horizontally as well. So because this has kind of a fun map and trees and even a little outhouse and campfire, I want that particular pattern to show up horizontally across my page. So I'm going to turn my paper and cut down through it this way. And when I first go ahead and make those 1/2-inch cuts, I like to cut on the right side of the cutting strip, just because more of my paper stays on the base of the trimmer and it's a little easier to control. So here is our first 1/2-inch strip, and I'm going to use the green diamond side for my small strips, and one more 1/2-inch strip. Then I can go ahead and cut my paper into the 2 4x12-inch pieces. And then my remaining 3-inch piece of paper is going to get cut into those 3-inch by 3-inch squares. I'm actually going to be using the green diamond side for those photo mats as well. And as I mentioned, this one piece will be scrap, so I'll just set that aside for now as well. And then so if you look, that is all of our cutting done. So we can put away our trimmer. And I've brought in 2 of my 13-inch cutting mats because they always make a great base when you are putting a layout together, because especially when we have elements that are going to run across both pages, it's a nice easy way to use the markings on the cutting mat to line things up. So now we're going to flip to this side and have a look at our sketch so that we can place all of our elements. We're going to start with one of the boot print border pieces, and I'm going to just place that right at the top of this side of the layout. And then I'm going to add one of my 1/2-inch strips. In this case, I flipped it over to the green side. And then one of my 4-inch by 12-inch strips of my patterned paper, my main pattern paper. Then we're going to repeat that on this side, but in this case, our boot prints are going to go down at the bottom, and you might want to think about which direction you want your boots to go. I like it so that both of the boot prints are facing inwards because it will draw your eye into the center of the layout. If both of the boot prints are heading off the layout, it gives a bit of the impression that your viewer's eyes are going away from the layout. So I like to have something like this, a directional element like this, facing into the center of the layout. And then we'll go ahead and place our second 1/2-inch strip and our other 4-inch by 12-inch piece of the main pattern paper. So that really is the base of our layouts, and our other pieces are the photo mats. So we're going to use 2 of our 4x6 photo mats over on this side, and the other 2 hot fudge photo mats down here. So that makes a nice contrast. And then our 3 3-inch photo mats are all going to go here along our pattern paper. And I like to try and make the margins or the edges of my photo mats even. So you can see that the edge of the 3x3 would be equal with the edge of the 4x4 beneath it. So that gives us a nice spacing and again, nice and even margins for our eyes to follow. Then I'm going to come in with my photos, and I love the project recipes because it already has my photo sizes all written out for me. So I know that I've got 3 2.5-inch square photos. These are great for some of those little additional photos that help tell the story. In this case, some images of the landscape around. And then I've got a 3.5-inch square photo for that spot, a 5.5 by 3.5-inch photo to go on here, and then 2 vertical photos, 4x6s cut down to 3.5 by 5.5 each. So I've just gone ahead and finished adhering all of my parts and pieces down to my layout. And now I can go back and look at the sample layout and just get some ideas for embellishing. So you see that there's kind of a natural spot over here for the journaling and title. And then I can place another embellishment cluster here and down here at the bottom, and that creates that nice visual triangle that helps your viewer's eyes move throughout the layout. Now, when it comes to journaling, we mentioned that the Variety Matte Pack cards make a great addition, but in this case, I've actually gone ahead and taken this type of journaling card and trimmed it into 3 small sort of strips. And I love the idea of just tucking those strips underneath here, and that gives my journaling a really sort of interesting look. So that's just a little bit of a different way that I could do my journaling. Now, if you didn't have the Variety Matte cards, remember that we do have those 2 small scraps of paper. And if you have some additional white cardstock, you could flip that small square over, tuck that in behind, and then use that as a base for a little journaling box. But I'm going to go ahead and adhere in my journaling strips that I've cut down from the Variety Matte Pack card. You could even cut these down into smaller pieces and save some for another area on your layout. And then I've got a fun little sort of cactus. It almost looks like a little badge, and a GPS locator. And then I'm going to just pop this up on top using some foam squares. And then I'll just finish this little area off here with another one of those fun badge style stickers. Then down here, I love this large sort of decorative scenic sticker. I think it really goes well with the images of the canyons, for example. And then I'm going to just add one more of the badge stickers, just layered that up with a little bit of foam square. And then finally up at the top, I'll use that last badge sticker, the fun little viewfinder, and then add one more sort of subtitle. This one says, "There's no time to be bored in a world as beautiful as this." So I'll just place that there, overlapping the viewfinder sticker and layering it up with some foam squares so that it creates lots of visual interest. There is the completed project recipe with the sticker and variety mat card additions, just as you see in the sample on the handout. And I really like the way this came together. I think it's going to be a really fun and versatile sketch and layout for you and your customers to complete, no matter which of the beautiful Leave Nothing Behind papers, stickers, and embellishments that you choose to use. Thanks very much for joining me. Have fun with this one. Bye-bye for now.